Hey everybody, welcome to another Good e-reader review video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Today we're going to check out the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite 2. We're going to show you the e-book experience, both with PDFs and books purchased from Amazon, and all of the features that this brings to the table. First of all, let's just give you some specs. This is a 6-inch device. The resolution's 1024 by 768. There's a 1 gigahertz CPU, 256 MB of RAM, 2 gigs of storage, no SD card, and you'll get about 2 months of battery life.
Now, a lot of people might say, hey, this looks exactly like the Kindle Paperwhite 1. Well, we'll show you guys that one of the only differences, if not the only difference, is that the back says Amazon on the second generation, and on the first generation, it says Kindle. So that it would be the differences between the two. This one is embossed with Kindle. This one says Amazon with some gloss underneath.
Yeah, it's actually hard to see Kindle because it doesn't have like a shiny gloss.
Yeah, it's the same color basically. Otherwise, they actually utilize the same housing on both of the devices. So
yeah, honestly, we've put both of these e-readers right next to each other and given them to some people that we know that don't even know anything about e-readers, and they had a hard time.
Right.
You know, which one's the new generation? We've asked, and they said that, well, it looks the same.
Pretty much. They didn't do much to the exterior. So yes, it looks pretty much the same. Same badging, same pretty much everything. Nothing on any of the sides. All the fun stuff happens at the bottom. We have the USB port, micro. We have the power button and standby button, and we have the status indicator light.
That doesn't really sound a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, compared to the clean sides, although it is a nice unit, and they don't have buttons all over the place, so you always have to get in the way. It's all located at the bottom of the device.
Yeah, this is pure touchscreen, so no physical buttons in any way, unlike a lot of other e-readers on the market. So looking at the main interface here, these are just like books that you own, books that you've purchased from Amazon. If you don't like this whole marketing stuff, that there is an option to remove it. So let's just take a look at a book and just dive right into it, because this is really why you're buying a Kindle, is to read. So we have here a book in progress.
So this is what it looks like by default. You can change a lot of what you see. You can change the line spacing, the fonts, and pretty much everything to cater it towards what you want it to look like. So you tap the top kind of quadrant, and that opens up all the settings. One of the most important settings is the text change. So you can go ahead and change any of the levels of text you want. You can change the text styles, line spacing. Everything changes live in the background too, so that's always good. Margins, in case you want to feel like you're reading quicker, I guess. And you can also do things like long press. What that does is going to open up some more options. You can search in Wikipedia, you can search in the dictionary, and if you click more, you can actually take what you've highlighted and keep it as a highlight. Make a note, and this would be a good time to look at the keyboard. They add some shading on the bottom of each individual key to make it look like it's three-dimensional. Looks really nice. Or you can take that highlight and share it to Facebook, and you'll see this is one of our employees here's Facebook page we've used to synchronize, and you can either do Facebook or Twitter or both, and then click share. On the Kindle Paperwhite 2, what we also have is vocabulary builder, and this is one of the new features that comes with the Kindle Paperwhite 2 that was not on the Kindle Paperwhite 1. Anytime you highlight a word, what it does is add it to your list here. You can then look each individual one up, delete it, check out its usage, and so forth. Once you've created a little list for yourselves over however many books you've highlighted, you can click on flashcards, and what this does is format everything into these kind of memory cards here. This would be great for learning terminology for educational purposes, or just characters in a book, or whatever you've highlighted, just to remind you. So that's always a good thing to have here. And then, of course, quick key to see definition.
One of the things I like about the Kindle is X-ray, and this is a kind of a cool feature that gives you a sense of the people, places, and things in a book. This is good if you're juggling multiple books at once, or if you're reading a book and then, say, a book you've been waiting for the last few months comes out, you jumping into that, obviously, and then you come back to this book a little while later, you can get a sense of the main characters, references, sort of what the book is basically about.
So they have things like people, terms, and so forth. So if you see that, if we go to people, you'll see that some of these guys are mentioned almost entirely throughout the book, whereas someone like Shauna here is only mentioned in the middle and a little bit towards the end. You can then click on a part where that person is mentioned, and it jumps right to that section.
So not too bad. One of the things that I've noticed with the Kindle when you're reading a book is it will actually give you some things like locations, how well your progress like throughout the book, and then if you click here, you kind of get the 1 minute left in chapter, some more details here. I don't know how much people are going to be like sharing things via like social media and whatnot with these devices. I talked to a lot of people who use these Kindles. Hardly anybody shares things via Facebook. I mean, even on our main Good e-Reader account, I think we have like 3,000, 4,000 friends, and then another few thousand people that have liked our page. And I have yet to see somebody who's submitted something through their Kindle and shared it on their wall.
Well, if you like your favorite passage from a book and you're that eager, sure. I mean, it is there.
Okay. So we've looked at a lot of like the book experience here, and this is a book that's purchased with Amazon. If you sideload in your own book, the only thing that actually won't work is X-ray, but everything else that we've showed you actually will work, including Vocabulary Builder. Let's take a look at a PDF. Most people buy these devices, download PDFs from the internet, load them in. Let's see what we can do.
So we have a PDF here with equal amount of text as there are pictures. So we chose this one. You have pinch and zooming capabilities. Unfortunately, unlike the Kobo and many other e-readers, we've noticed that the Amazon Kindle has problems with PDFs sometimes. The Kindle 2 especially, because we've had a lot of those forced closes based on the amount of memory it has. So seems to have a little bit of trouble with PDFs now and then. But you can scroll around the page. You can let go and it renders for you. You have full pinch and zoom capabilities. Also, you have double tap capabilities. So if you double tap a particular section of text, what it does is it actually reflows it. So you can see that you're now reading it as you would a book.
Yeah, it's almost like the old way that Sony used to do the reflow.
Absolutely. And another thing that Amazon does on their PDFs that a lot of other e-readers don't is if you press and hold something, you can actually make a highlight. And not a lot of e-readers do that in their PDF experience. And you get all the same functionality, highlights, notes, shares, translation. You can go to translation and translate that into pretty much any language. In about 2 seconds, we've translated it into complex Chinese. So, I mean, it's a great feature to have. And the functionality is there, whether you're reading an ebook, whether you're reading a side-loaded book, or a PDF. I mean, as long as the Kindle can recognize text, you can do whatever you want.
So you can see that the PDF experience overall is fairly versatile. You could do a lot of things on this that you can't do on others. One of the downsides is that there's only 256 MB of RAM. This is really only, like a 5 megabyte file?
Right, yeah. So you see, because of the lack of RAM, sometimes when you're doing difficult maneuvers, it can't keep up and it just ends up crashing now and then. So, I mean, that's good to note.
Yeah. For sure. So, all in all, one of the things that this e-reader, how it's different from the original, and this is something that we didn't show you when we were actually in the book, is you're not actually seeing a full page refresh every page or every 6 pages. Instead, you see it every single chapter, or sometimes if there's many short chapters, you won't really see it. We kind of saw it there. And what this does is really kind of give you a better overall refresh rate. And not only is this evident when you're actually reading books, but if we're, say, browsing the carousel here, you can see that it's not as bad in flickering as previous models of the Kindle. and so you kind of get a little bit more seamless experience. You can see that it's still flickering, but it's not as bad as the one that's on like the original Kindle Paperwhite.
Right. This one has definitely been upgraded. It's a lot more smooth. It's a lot more fluid.
So if we were to just sort of put it side by side here, just so you could see for yourself, you can see that this flickering is like woeful.
It almost flickers as a entire set, whereas this one kind of cascades gently from left to right or right to left based on which way you turn it. So they've definitely refined the Paperwhite too. They didn't do much with the exterior, they didn't do much with the hardware, but they have definitely refined it.
Okay, so all in all, this e-reader is getting Goodreads capabilities within the next month or so, and Kindle Free Time is going to be implemented in here. Kindle Free Time is basically a way that parents can manage the e-reader with permissions. So they could say, if you're logged into the kid profile, you can only use the e-reader to read, 2 hours of books a day, maybe like half an hour of like this and that, and the kid can't make purchases from the store. So this way that you could give the child the e-reader and them not racking up $1 million in microtransactions.
Right. So this is the store experience here. We have more advertised kind of things at the bottom. We have sections, all very self-explanatory. If you click on books, it actually tells you what the amount of books are in each section. So we'll just choose all Kindle books. Just choose a book here so we can check everything out. So you have the Kindle price versus the print list price, try sample, add to wish list, length of page. Then you have everything on one list here, which is really cool. I know that Kobo only pretty much has the book and a sample, whereas they got customer reviews, author reviews, full posts by each individual customer, Amazon reviews, Publishers Weekly. I mean, there's lots of good stuff on here, and it really gives you an idea of how good this book can or is or isn't.
Yeah, the one thing about the book description here, it's very similar to the web experience. When you're logged on to the interweb and you're looking at an ebook, this is almost mirrored on the e-reader as it is online. It's optimized obviously for the 6-inch screen, and things are positioned a little bit differently, but all in all, the web version is almost the same as the e-reader version, which is very compelling because it gives you more than just the description of the book and maybe a few tertiary reviews. It gives you a lot of information on each book, which I find is good. If you're a book lover, it's hard to find better deals than what Amazon gives you day to day.
Yeah, they have a lot of free options. They have a lot of options for free books. They have a lot of options for discounted books and all that kind of stuff. One of the last things that's different between the Paperwhite 1 and the Paperwhite 2 is the glow light. Not only is it more consistent and efficient through the range, it actually has a setting called max. And even if you're at the maximum setting, you can click max to really reveal the full potential of the e-reader's front light technology. And you do have a wide range to play with here, about 24 or 25 options.
So if you're new to this sort of technology, really what it is unlike a tablet or a smartphone that has light behind the screen going in your eyes, it actually has light on like the bottom of the screen and whatnot. And what this does is splash light evenly up. So it's not gonna kind of be in your eyes, giving you eye strain, and this is sort of something that's sort of new to e-reader technology in, I guess, the last about year and a half or so. So this has been our review of the Kindle Paperwhite 2. If you've never had a Kindle before, this is a great place to start. If you have the Kindle Paperwhite 1, you're not really... The second generation is not really worth the upgrade, in my opinion. There's just really not a lot of things that it brings to the table that's like a game changer. It's like subtle enhancements with less flickering, a bit better processor. Kindle Paperwhite 1 has 800 megahertz, the 2 has 1 gigahertz, so it's not really that much of an upgrade. So if you have like the Kindle first generation, this might be a reason to upgrade, but if you bought the one that came out like last year, I would just probably stick with that for now. And all in all, we'd like to hear your thoughts. You can drop a comment on this video and let us know what you think. And you've heard our thoughts, let's hear yours. You could check out all of the latest news, previews, interviews, and industry-wide coverage on our website at goodereader.com. And for a quick review of the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.